The morning cycle on the interstellar vessel, Unity's promise began the same way it always did. Soft lights rising in brightness, gentle chimes signaling the start of a new work shift, and a wave of sleepy humans trying to look awake before stepping into the main corridors. Among them was Milo Hart, a young engineer with a habit of arriving exactly on time. Never early, never late. Milo stretched as he stepped into the engineering bay. It was quiet, clean, and filled with shimmering panels of alien design. Humans and non-humans worked side by side here, but Milo was one of the few certified to perform maintenance on the diplomatic wing, a place filled with equipment so delicate that even breathing too strongly near it caused alarms. He opened his task console. Normally, it gave him a list of routine checkups, temperature diagnostics, pressure balancing, cleaning the sensory scanners for the Vavary and the Myrini diplomats. But this time, there was something different. It blinked bright red. New notification. Formal complaint filed against engineer Milo Hart. Milo blinked. What? Me? A complaint? He tapped the message open. Immediately, several lines of text appeared in bright shimmering symbols that his translator struggled to keep up with. After a few seconds, the words finally stabilized into simple English. Complaint title. No, you messed with the wrong part of me. Filed by Ambassador Talira, Vavary Diplomatic Representative Level. Cultural offense. Severity. Moderate action required. Report to Diplomatic Chamber. 4. Milo stared at the screen for a full 10 seconds. Then he read it again, and a third time, because it still made no sense. He whispered to himself, What? Part? What did I even touch? He tried to remember his interaction with Ambassador Talira the previous day. She was tall, graceful, and semi-luminescent like every Vavary. Her skin looked like polished crystal, glowing softly in waves according to mood and communication patterns. Milo had barely said 2 words to her while fixing the translation node in her meeting room. He remembered bending down to adjust a glowing panel on the wall. She walked past him and, oh. He bumped her, very lightly, barely even a tap. To a human, it was nothing, a gentle, accidental nudge. But to a Vavary? Milo's stomach tightened. He had read that their bodies had special sensory spots humans couldn't see. Maybe he had touched one, or brushed one, or breathed on one. He wasn't sure anymore. The engineering team around him began turning their heads. His console screen was bright enough that others could see the red notice. "Whoa, Milo," said Jenna, his colleague, leaning closer. "You got a complaint from a diplomat? What did you do?" "I don't know," he said quickly. "I think maybe lightly bumped Ambassador Talira yesterday." Jenna's eyes widened. "You touched a Vavary?" "Oh, no." "Oh, that explains a lot." Milo felt the sudden weight of embarrassment. This was the last thing he wanted. The Vavary were extremely formal. Their entire culture was based on calm gestures, precise politeness, and gentle communication. If he had startled one, even by accident, it could be a major diplomatic issue. He grabbed his toolkit and sighed. "I better go sort this out before the captain hears." He walked into the corridor, heading toward Diplomatic Chamber 4. The ship was huge, a cooperative design between 20 species. Every hallway shimmered with soft blue lights to keep most species comfortable. Milo passed several aliens along the way. Tall, feathered Myrini gliding gracefully, small, round Zolki bouncing on their hover pads, and the ever-smiling human interns running chores. Everyone seemed busy. Everyone except Milo, who felt like he was on his way to a very uncomfortable parent-teacher meeting. As he stood outside the chamber door, he checked his appearance in the reflective surface. Dark curls, slightly messy, uniform clean but wrinkled near the collar, toolkit hanging like a friendly weight at his side. He took a deep breath. "Okay," he told himself softly. "Just explain. Apologize. Don't touch anything glowing." He pressed the door panel. The chamber lights brightened, revealing a wide circular room with delicate crystal structures forming patterns across the walls. The Vavary loved circles. Circles meant harmony. He stepped in slowly, respecting the cultural guidelines. 3 steps forward, pause, then speak. But before he even finished the second step, the main crystal at the center flickered, and a soft hum rose through the air. Ambassador Talira appeared from behind a panel. Her crystalline skin pulsed a faint violet as she approached, a sign of restrained emotion. "Milo Hart," she said in that clear voice that always sounded like ringed glass being tapped. "You have arrived?" He bowed slightly, a human form of respect. "Ambassador Talira, I'm here because of the complaint. I think there's been a misunderstanding. I'm very sorry if I did something." Talira lifted a hand. "Your apology is premature. First, we must establish the facts." Her glowing patterns shifted into a steady blue, meaning she was being formal. Milo swallowed. "Of course." She walked around him with slow, graceful steps, examining him as though he were a device she wasn't quite sure how to operate. "Yesterday," she began, "you conducted maintenance on the diplomatic translation node. During your repair, you turned unexpectedly. I was approaching to observe your methods. Our paths intersected, and you made physical contact with my sensory node cluster." Milo's face turned pink. "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean—" Talira flickered a bright cyan. Milo wasn't sure what that meant, but the translator offered embarrassment. "It is not simply a matter of intention," she said quickly. "That part of the Vavary body is extremely sensitive. It is similar to—" She paused, the lights on her arms pulsing quickly. The translator hesitated. Her glow turned deeper. "A human's elbow," she finally said, though the translator added a side note. "Approximation only." Milo's confusion softened into relief. "Your elbow? Oh, I understand. It can be surprising if someone pokes your elbow without warning." Talira looked at him with wide, glowing eyes. "It is not a poke. It is a direct activation of the sensory cluster, a moment of unprepared awareness. It caused me to emit an involuntary luminescent reaction. Several other diplomats witnessed it." Milo felt a pang of sympathy. "I made you light up?" "Very brightly," she said, "in a shade usually reserved for formal greetings between family." Milo's ears turned red. "I really didn't mean to cause that." "I know," she said quietly, her glow softening. "Your emotional signature yesterday was confusion, not intent." He blinked. "You could sense that?" "The Vavary sense much," she said simply. He rubbed the back of his neck. "Ambassador, respectfully, if it was an accident, then why file a complaint?" She crossed her arms in a way that looked overly polite. "Procedure. Even misunderstandings must be documented. Our customs require clarity." Milo nodded slowly. "So, what happens now?" Talira's light briefly flickered with what the translator labeled uncertain curiosity. "That depends," she said. "I have requested this meeting not to punish you, but to understand you." "Understand me?" he repeated. "You are human," she said. "Humans are known for unpredictable reactions, unusual social codes, and a capacity for adaptation that even our scholars struggle to map. I must ensure that your actions were accidental and that you understand Vavary boundaries." "Well," Milo said with a small smile, "I'm human, so unpredictable is pretty accurate. But I would never purposely disrespect you." Talira stared at him a moment. Her glow shifted to a gentle lavender, a sign of softening emotion. "Then let us discuss this calmly." She gestured for him to sit at a round crystalline table, and Milo followed. The room grew quiet, but in that quiet was something unexpected. Not tension, not strict diplomacy, but the beginning of something else. A conversation, a bridge, an understanding forming from a moment of accidental contact. And as Milo sat there, nervous but genuine, Ambassador Talira realized something interesting. Humans responded to mistakes with honesty, humor, and sincerity, qualities rare among many galactic species. Perhaps this incident wasn't a failure after all. Perhaps it was the start of something useful, or even something important. But that would come later. For now, this was only the beginning. Milo sat across from Ambassador Talira at the round crystal table, feeling like he was taking an exam he had not studied for. The room glowed with soft blue and lavender lights, shifting gently with the ambassador's emotions. Every time she moved, ripples of color spread across her crystalline skin. He tried not to stare. He failed. Talira noticed, of course. The Vavary noticed everything. "You are observing my luminescence," she said calmly. Milo sat up straighter. "Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. It's beautiful." The ambassador froze. Her glow flickered sharply. Bright silver, then deep cyan, then back to lavender. The translator chimed a soft warning as if unsure how to classify her reaction. "That is a direct compliment," she said slowly. "Yes?" Milo replied, unsure if he had messed up again. "Humans offer compliments casually," Talira said, almost to herself. "Vavary do not. In our culture, compliments require careful intention." "Well," Milo said, "I'm human, so that might explain a lot." She looked at him for a long moment, her glow softening. "Indeed." The silence between them lingered, not uncomfortable, but thoughtful. Milo felt his shoulders relax a little. "Ambassador Talira," he said gently, "I really didn't mean to startle you yesterday." "I understand," she replied. "Still, I must learn why it happened. Humans do things differently." "Differently how?" Milo asked with a small smile. She tilted her head. "Unexpectedly, without visible warning." Her glow pulsed softly. "When you turned and touched my sensory cluster, you did not display any force-signaling behavior." Milo blinked. "For signaling?" "Movement patterns that show intent," she explained. "Vavary shift light before changing position." "Oh," Milo said. "Humans don't glow before they move. We just move." "Yes," she said. "Without radiance, without caution marks, without any external signal to show a shift in action. It is very sudden." Milo laughed lightly. "So to you, I looked like a jumping ghost?" Talira hesitated, then allowed a tiny ripple of silver across her arm. The translator hummed. Amused acknowledgement. "In a sense, yes." Milo rubbed the back of his neck, feeling a mix of embarrassment and curiosity. "Ambassador, maybe you could teach me what to avoid, so I don't accidentally activate another sensory cluster." Talira sat very still. Her glow changed to deep blue, thoughtful, formal. "That," she said, "is exactly what I had hoped." She stood gracefully and gestured toward the holographic platform in the center of the room. "We will begin a simple demonstration of Vavary body language. You will observe." Milo followed her to the platform. Talira stepped into the soft light beam, and her form was duplicated into several transparent copies around her. Each copy glowed with different patterns and shapes. "This," she said, "is how we express intention to move." One projection pulsed from shoulders to arms. "This means, I will turn." Another projection shimmered from her torso down to her legs. "This means, I will walk." Another glowed from her lower spine upward. "This means, I will reach." Milo watched closely, trying to memorize the signals, but they all seemed so delicate, soft shifts of light that humans could notice only if they stared directly at them. He squinted. Ambassador, I don't think human eyes can catch all of that. She paused. Truly? I mean, some of it maybe, but not all. Talira looked at him, her glow drifting into a thoughtful purple. Then how do humans avoid collision, or misunderstanding, or accidental contact? Milo chuckled. We just say, sorry a lot. Talira blinked. You use apologies as a social stabilizer? Pretty much, Milo admitted. Humans bump into each other all the time. We don't glow, we don't pulse lights, we don't have color shifts. We just talk, or wave, or step back and pretend nothing happened. Talira considered this for a long moment. That seems inefficient. Yep, Milo said, but it works, most of the time. He gave a small grin. Talira didn't smile. Vavari didn't smile. But her glow softened into a warm lavender, the Vavari sign of gentle acceptance. She nodded once. Then perhaps instruction must go both ways. Milo tilted his head. Meaning? If humans cannot fully see our signals, she said, then I must also learn how humans communicate intent. It would be unwise to expect only one species to adapt. Milo blinked. You want me to teach you human body language? Yes. She said it calmly, but her glow shimmered a faint green, Vavari curiosity. Well, Milo said, I can try, but I should warn you, human signals are messy. Explain. Okay. Milo stepped back so she could see his whole body. Let's say I want to move. Humans don't pulse lights. Instead, we look in the direction we're going, shift weight a little, maybe angle our shoulders. It's subtle. Talira watched closely. You changed your balance distribution. Interesting. Continue. Right. Now, if I want to reach for something... Milo lifted his arm slowly. Talira's glow flickered. Your signal is physical movement itself. Mostly, yes. And humans are expected to... guess? Pretty much. Humans, she said softly, are fascinating. Milo smiled. We try. Talira continued to observe, analyzing every shift in his posture. Her luminescent patterns changed rapidly, unable to hide her concentration. For a species known for calm and emotional control, she seemed unusually expressive today. But Milo didn't comment on it. He didn't want to embarrass her again. After several minutes, she turned off the holographic platform with a soft gesture. Your explanations are helpful, but I still wish to understand how the incident caused such a strong reaction in me. Milo hesitated. Maybe because you didn't expect it? Sometimes humans jump when touched suddenly. She looked down, her glow dimming slightly. It was not simply surprise. She paused. My luminescent reaction was very bright, very noticeable. It drew attention from other diplomats. A Vavari should not lose control of their glow so easily. You didn't lose control, Milo said quickly. You reacted. That's normal. For humans, perhaps, she said softly. But for Vavari, public display of uncontrolled light is... She searched for the right word. Embarrassing. Milo's voice gentled. Ambassador, everyone gets embarrassed sometimes. It is not a feeling my kind experiences often, she said. Our emotional centers are usually stable. Your species destabilizes patterns. Destabilizes? Milo laughed lightly. That's one way to describe humans. Talira folded her hands. Milo Hart, may I ask a question? Of course. When I reacted yesterday, how did you feel? Milo blinked, surprised. Honestly, I didn't know what I did wrong. I thought maybe I stepped on your foot or something. I do not have feet, she replied. Oh, right. Her glow flickered silver, amusement. Milo leaned forward slightly. Look, I know I messed up, but you're talking to me now, so that means we can fix it. We can understand each other better. Talira looked at him, really looked at him. A soft wave of pale light rolled over her form. "You are unlike any human I have studied," she said quietly. "Humans are known for rapid emotions and impulsive behavior, but you respond with calm and sincerity." Milo's cheeks warmed. "Thanks, I think." She inclined her head. "This makes the misunderstanding easier to resolve." "How do we resolve it?" he asked. "We continue learning," she said simply. "Together." Milo felt a small spark of pride at her words. Then something unexpected happened. As she stood, a soft flicker of light, barely visible, moved across her shoulder. A signal. She was about to walk. Without thinking, Milo stepped aside. Talira froze. "You saw that?" she said softly. Milo nodded. "A little, I'm trying." Her glow warmed into a soft lavender. Approval. "Then perhaps," she said, "humans do not need perfect vision to understand. Only effort." He smiled. "And maybe Vavary don't need humans to glow, just honesty." For the first time, she allowed a ripple of bright silver to sweep across her arms, a Vavary sign of deep agreement. "Milo Hart," she said, "I believe this cooperation will benefit more than just us. Other species could learn from such exchanges." "Maybe," he said, "but let's take it one step at a time." "Yes," she agreed. "One step, with clear signals." Milo laughed softly. The meeting had begun with a complaint. Now it felt like the beginning of a new friendship, slow, careful, and filled with curiosity from both sides. It was, in its own quiet way, the start of something special. The next morning on Unity's promise began with unusual energy. Milo Hart woke up earlier than his alarm for once, because his mind was full of the previous day's events. He had spent hours with Ambassador Talira learning about Vavary signals, glowing patterns, and emotional displays. He had also taught her about human posture, facial expressions, and movement cues. It felt strange, but in a good way, like he was part of something bigger than himself. As Milo walked through the corridor, he noticed that several crew members were whispering and glancing in his direction. Some smiled at him, others looked curious. Jenna, his co-worker, waved him over with a big grin. "Milo, you are famous," he frowned. "Famous? What did I do now?" "You and Ambassador Talira had a full diplomatic cultural exchange session yesterday," Jenna said dramatically. "The rumor channels blew up. Apparently, she requested your help again today." Milo blinked. "She did?" "Oh, yes," Jenna said. "The Vavary rarely call the same human twice unless they found something very interesting." Milo's ears warmed. "It's not like that. It was just learning." Jenna raised an eyebrow. "Uh-huh. Sure. Go on, Mr. Diplomat Trainer." Milo sighed and walked away, but he couldn't stop smiling a little. When he entered Diplomatic Chamber 4, he found Talira already waiting. Her glow pattern was calm and soft, shifting slowly from blue to lavender. Vavary signs of readiness and welcome. "Milo Hart," she said. "You came promptly." "Good morning, Ambassador," he replied, giving a respectful nod. "I heard you asked for me." "Yes," she said. "We have more to understand." Milo stepped inside. "I'm ready." Talira gestured toward the center of the room. Today, the holographic platform had been expanded. More projectors were active, forming circles of faint-colored light. "Today," she said, "we will practice mutual interpretation. You will read Vavary signals, and I will read human signals. We will see which ones we both understand naturally and which require training." Milo laughed. "I'll warn you now, human signals are messy." "I am aware," she said with a silver flicker of amusement. "But your honesty is appreciated." They began with simple tests. Talira raised one arm. Her glow rippled from fingertips to shoulder. Milo squinted. You're going to turn?" "Yes," she said. "Correct." Encouraged, Milo continued guessing. She lowered her head, her glow shifted slightly downward. Milo guessed, "You are thinking deeply?" "Close," she said. "I am analyzing. A very similar state." She moved her shoulders forward. Her glow tinged light green. Milo hesitated. "You want to ask something?" Her glow brightened. "Yes," Milo smiled. "I'm getting better." "And now," she said, "it is your turn." Milo straightened his posture and tilted his head slightly to one side. Talira studied him carefully. "This indicates curiosity?" "Correct," he said. Next, he shifted his weight from one foot to another. Talira paused. "Uncertainty?" "Close," Milo said. "It means I'm thinking of a question." "Interesting." Her glow shimmered with a thoughtful purple. Then, Milo folded his arms loosely, a common human gesture. Talira tilted her head. "This gesture is defensive?" "Not always," Milo said quickly. "For humans, it can also mean we're just comfortable like this." Talira looked almost shocked, her glow flickering softly. "One gesture can have multiple meanings?" "Yeah," Milo said with a laugh. "Humans are complicated." Talira breathed out, a faint sound like soft wind inside glass. "Indeed." They continued for nearly an hour. Talira learned to read his movements, while Milo learned to spot her subtle signals. A few times he guessed wrong, and she guessed wrong too, but neither felt embarrassed. Instead, each mistake became a new lesson. Finally, Talira dimmed the holograms and motioned for them to sit. "Milo Hart," she said, "your efforts are admirable." "I am learning more quickly than expected." Milo smiled modestly. "You're a good teacher and a fast learner." Talira's glow brightened, silvery with a hint of green. The translator whispered, "Acknowledgement of shared respect." But before Milo could say anything else, the chamber door opened. A Merini diplomat entered, a tall, feathered being with soft wings and glowing stripes on its head. Merini were known for peaceful communication and gentle curiosity. The diplomat bowed slightly. "Ambassador Talira, Engineer Milo Hart. May I observe?" Milo blinked. "Observe what?" Talira stood gracefully. "Our cultural exchange. It has drawn attention. Other delegates wish to learn from it." Milo felt a rush of nerves. "I'm not really a teacher." "You are," Talira said calmly, "in action, if not in title." The Merini diplomat added, "Humans adapt quickly. We wish to understand how." Talira looked at Milo. "Shall we continue the demonstration?" Milo swallowed, then nodded. "Sure, I'll do my best." And so the session transformed. What had begun as a private meeting now became a small class. The Merini diplomat listened quietly as Milo explained human signals. Talira demonstrated Vavary pulses. Milo repeated the movements he had taught earlier, shifting weight, turning his shoulders, tilting his head, all the little physical cues humans used. The Merini diplomat asked a question. "When humans smile, is it always happiness?" Milo laughed. "No, no. It can mean politeness, comfort, nervousness, even confusion." The Merini blinked. "So many layers for one motion." Talira added, "It is similar to our emotional luminescence. One pattern can mean different things depending on context." Milo nodded. "Exactly, and that's why we're learning together." The Merini's feathers fluffed in appreciation. "I see." Soon, another alien walked in, a short, round Zolki diplomat bouncing gently on hover pads. It watched silently, its glowing eyes tracking both Milo and Talira. Then a human intern stopped by, curious. Then a tall Chiron representative paused to observe. One by one, the room slowly filled with beings from across the galaxy. Milo felt his heart race. Ambassador? This is getting big." Talira's glow warmed. "It seems our cooperation has created interest." Milo stood straighter. If this many people were watching, he wanted to represent humans as well as he could. Talira activated the holographic platform again. Let us continue. Milo Hart, please demonstrate a human gesture of agreement. Milo nodded. Talira explained to the others, the human gesture is the nod. It means yes, or I accept, or I understand. The meaning is clear only with context. The aliens murmured softly, trying to mimic the motion. A few got it right, a few moved their entire bodies instead of their heads. Milo bit his lip to stop himself from laughing. Now show disagreement, Talira said. Milo shook his head. More aliens copied the motion, some too fast, some too wide, some in circles. Milo smiled. This is great. Everyone's learning. Talira glowed a steady lavender. Indeed. The class continued for another long while. Milo explained hand gestures, posture shifts, and facial expressions. Talira explained pulse patterns, brightness levels, and emotional wavelengths. The Marini chimed in with their feather signals. The Zolki demonstrated hoverpad vibrations. Different species, different languages, yet somehow everything felt connected. At last, when the session ended, the diplomats slowly left the chamber. Several thanked Milo directly. Some even tried to mimic the human wave gesture. Milo felt proud, tired but proud. When they were alone again, Talira turned to him. Today had unexpected results. That's one way to put it, Milo said with a grin. Your ability to communicate across species is impressive, she continued. You simplified complex behavior in ways others could understand. Well, Milo said, humans like to make things easier. We're good at adapting. Talira's glow shimmered silver. Yes, this is why the galaxy finds humans fascinating. You connect without fear. You bridge without hesitation. Milo blinked. Is that good? It is rare, she said softly, and valuable. She stepped closer. Milo Hart, today your actions created a ripple. A small learning session became a multi-species exchange. This could inspire larger cooperation across the Alliance. Milo rubbed the back of his neck. Wow, I didn't expect that. I did not either, she admitted. But I am pleased. Her glow warmed into soft lavender, Vivari comfort. Milo felt warmth in his chest. So, same time tomorrow? Talira nodded gracefully. Yes, there is much more to learn. And as they parted, Milo realized something important. What began as a simple misunderstanding was becoming a bridge that different species were beginning to walk across. A small ripple spreading across the galaxy. The final day of the cultural exchange came faster than Milo expected. The ship Unity's promise felt different now, warmer, livelier, and filled with small friendly gestures between species who once barely understood one another. Milo walked through the main corridor and saw things he had never seen before. A Marini diplomat nodded like a human while speaking to a group of Chiron delegates. A Zolki bounced in a pattern that mimicked Talira's luminescent rhythm. Two humans politely attempted to copy a gentle feather flutter greeting from the Marini. The change was small, but meaningful. Milo smiled to himself. Maybe we really are learning from each other, he thought. When he reached Diplomatic Chamber 4, he found the door already open. The room inside was brighter than usual. Holographic platforms glowed softly, projecting symbols from multiple species. Ambassador Talira stood at the center of everything, her luminescent patterns calm and steady. She looked different today, not physically but emotionally. Her glow was rich lavender with gentle spirals of pale silver. Milo had learned enough to know that this meant she felt both peaceful and hopeful. Milo Hart, she said, her voice warm like crystalline bells. Welcome. Milo bowed his head slightly. Good morning, Ambassador. This will be our final session for this cycle, she said. The High Assembly will review the results soon. Milo nodded but felt a small ache inside. He had grown used to these lessons. They had become the best part of his day. So, he asked, what do we learn today? Talira stepped forward. Today, we reflect. And we prepare the final report, together. Milo blinked. Together? I thought diplomats wrote those alone. Normally, yes, she said, but this situation is unique. She motioned toward the main table, where a holographic document shimmered in mid-air. It displayed multiple colors, the languages of different species all layered into one. Talira explained, the High Assembly wants to understand the incident, the sessions that followed, and the effects across Unity's promise. They require a full summary from both the Vavary perspective and the human perspective. Milo sat slowly. And I'll write the human part? You will speak, Talira said. The ship system will translate your words into text. Milo nodded and took a breath. All right, let's do it. They began. Talira started with her part. Incident. Accidental activation of sensory cluster by human engineer Milo Hart. Initial reaction, surprise, involuntary luminescence, public embarrassment. Milo winced. Sorry again. Talira flickered a soft silver wave, her version of a smile. It is in the past, she continued. Resolution attempt, mutual learning, observations. Humans lack force signals. Vavary rely on light cues. Exchange sessions revealed that gestures from both species can be misread without context. Humans adapt quickly. Vavary respond logically. Both sides reached deeper understanding. Then Talira paused. Now, Milo Hart, please give your human perspective. Milo leaned closer to the hologram. Okay, my name is Milo Hart, and I honestly didn't know I messed up. I bumped the ambassador by accident. On Earth, small accidents happen all the time. We just say, sorry, and move on. He took a slow breath. But here, with different species, things are more complicated. Cultures are different. What feels normal to humans might feel shocking to others. I didn't understand that at first. Talira listened closely, her glow shifting in soft waves. Milo continued. But the ambassador taught me that even small reactions can mean something important. And I taught her that humans don't glow or signal before we act. We depend on words and quick apologies. And somehow, it works for us. His voice softened. I learned that communication isn't just language. It's movement, posture, light, feathers, sounds, everything. I also learned that people from other species want to understand humans, and we want to understand them too. These sessions helped all of us. He looked at Talira. I'm grateful for that, really grateful. The ambassador's glow warmed to a gentle lavender. Your words are honest. They will be well received. But before they could finalize the document, the chamber door opened again. Captain Reyes entered, a tall human with sharp eyes and a soft smile. Several high-ranking diplomats from different species followed behind him, including the Merini with soft feathers and the round Zolki. Milo, the captain said, Ambassador Talira, we received word from the High Assembly. They wish to review your report. Now. Talira straightened. So soon? It seems your sessions have created significant interest, Captain Reyes said. Half the ship is trying to copy human gestures today. Milo's face turned pink. Sorry? No, the captain laughed. It's a good thing. Talira bowed her head politely. Then we will present the report. The diplomats formed a semicircle around the table. The holographic document expanded to full size, glowing clearly for all to see. Talira and Milo stood side by side as both perspectives played aloud, her calm, precise explanation and his sincere human summary. When the report ended, the chamber fell silent. The Myrene diplomat fluttered its feathers softly. This cooperation is rare and valuable. Humans and Vavary demonstrated a balanced form of learning. The Zolki hovered closer. Humans show adaptability. Vavary show clarity. Together, they create understanding. A tall Chiron representative nodded with slow approval. This example can help many species avoid misunderstandings. Captain Reyes looked at Milo with pride. You've done well, engineer. Milo glanced at Talira. She gave a faint silver shimmer. Then, the chamber lights changed. A soft holographic emblem appeared, the symbol of the High Assembly. A message played in multiple languages at once. The Assembly has reviewed the report. The complaint filed by Ambassador Talira is officially resolved. No punishment required. Instead, we offer commendation to both involved parties. We recommend continued cultural exchange programs based on their example. Let this cooperation guide future interactions across the Alliance. When the message ended, Milo just stared. Did they just thank us? He asked quietly. Yes, Talira said, her glow brightening. We have succeeded. The room filled with soft sounds of approval, gentle feather rustles, glowing pulses, hoverpad vibrations. Milo felt warmth spread through his chest. Talira turned toward him. Milo Hart, you helped transform an uncomfortable moment into a valuable lesson for many species. You should be proud. I couldn't have done it without you, he said. Her glow warmed. Perhaps, but humans have a unique gift. You approach mistakes with honesty, not fear. You turn misunderstanding into connection. Milo lowered his head modestly. We try. And you succeed, Talira said softly. There was a moment of calm silence between them, comfortable and full of meaning. After some time, the diplomats began leaving the room, discussing the future of cultural training programs. Captain Reyes patted Milo's shoulder and left as well. Finally, only Milo and Talira remained. So, Milo said, I guess this is the end of our lessons. Talira shook her head gently, her glow shimmering a soft gold. No, Milo Hart, this is not the end. This is the beginning. The High Assembly wants more sessions, more learning, more cooperation, and I would like you to continue assisting me. Milo's smile grew slowly. You mean, work with you officially? Yes, she said, not because of the complaint, but because you understand. And you try. And that is what the galaxy needs. Milo felt a deep warmth settle inside him, something like pride, something like hope. I'd be honored, he said. Talira raised one arm. A small glow rippled from her shoulder, her force signal. Milo stepped aside immediately, smiling. She paused. You saw the signal? Yep, he said proudly. Her glow turned lavender with bright silver streaks, pure approval. And I recognize that smile, she said. It means happiness. Milo laughed. You're getting good at this. We both are, she replied. Together, they left the chamber, side by side, human and Vavary, ready to continue their work, ready to help the galaxy understand itself a little better. What began as a complaint became a connection, and that connection became a bridge. But most importantly, it became a new beginning.